That.
All right, hold on. Let's bring them in. Shouts out to all the brothers and sisters out there in social media land. This is indeed a great day to be alive. It's the day the Most High made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. And this is the video with no name. So we just going to deal with a few things. We got King Rashard on the horn. Shouts out to your brothers and sisters, King Rashard, so they can all hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shalom, everybody.
All right, all right. Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, we got a couple of people watching the video. That's all we need. We ain't reaching for everybody, just a couple. We get a couple on there. If you jump on the video, then that means that you're supposed to be here, and the Spirit got something you want to say specifically to you. So let's go, King Rashard. Let's give him a foundation of what we're gonna deal with for this little first for this out the gate. Okay.
All right. Yes, sir. Out the gate, we're gonna deal with believers need no sign.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you think it is that believers shouldn't need no signs?
Because we already know, we know him.
And then what kind of signs do you feel like believers are looking for in this world that we're living in now?
They looking for all kinds of signs.
They're looking for all kinds of signs. When praises go up, blessings come down. Lord, give me a sign. Give me a sign.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm getting more conversation from people about dreams and all kind of stuff now than ever before. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
so believers don't need any signs. All right. So that's why we're gonna look at the reasons why believers don't need no signs. You being a believer is enough. Only thing you gotta do is just roll right on into your life.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Shouts out
sir.
to you, TT. All right, let's go.
All right, this is coming out of the Constitution of the Holy Apostles, book 8. It reads at the title.
Wait a minute, man. What did you just say? What did you say? Because see, a lot of brothers and sisters might not know about this particular book. Here we go again. Here we go again. Even the beloved apostle spoke. Out of all the things that the Messiah both did and said, I suppose that if they could be written in books, then the world itself couldn't contain the things that could be spoken about him. So King Rashard is going to be coming out of the book that is called the Constitution of the Apostles. And before you get started, I want to interject something in there so I can show them something about this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the Constitution of the Apostles, because you have many of our brothers and sisters out here who still have the mindset and they're dealing with Torah from the standpoint of Constitution. But what they don't understand is that the Hamashiach come, there's a reinstitution of a new oblation that we will walk by. And what he gave the disciples would produce in the world, which would become the Constitution that the believers of Hamashiach would be walking by. So let me confirm that with the scripture right quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know. And we ain't never going to find enough things for our brothers to get mad about when truth start coming out. But that's okay. They can come right on over here if they want to.
Right. Man.
Okay. Now let me show you what I'm talking about, because this is prophecy. Read Isaiah 9th chapter, 6th verse.
Excuse me.
So all of my brothers and sisters, when we start telling you things and dealing with Hamashiach, you always want to keep going back to the Torah, pulling out this, pulling out that. Listen, let me tell you something. Ain't no constitution dealing with no Torah law, because the Torah law is what had people bound. It's what had people corrupt in their mindset. The law that they previously had was what the Messiah came to abolish. The Torah law does not have anything to do with the prophets. The prophets and the law were not a hand and a glove. The prophets fought against the Torah law and the things that they were teaching in the law. The prophets fought against all of those things. As a matter of fact, it was those that wielded the pen and those that wielded the law dealing with Torah that caused the prophets to all lose their lives. So let's just get that straight right out the gate, right off the bat. And our young brothers are going to have to understand this. Otherwise, you're going to get another spanking.
Right. Okay.
Isaiah chapter 9. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, this is the prophecy of the prophet Isaiah. This gonna make you understand that the prophets and the Torah were not a hand and a glove. They were something completely different.
Yes, sir.
And Elder Manio said the ancient fathers had signs too. Yes, they did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let's go and read that prophecy.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 9, picking up at verse 6. It says, "For unto us children is born, unto us sons is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder."
You put plural. You put an S on each one of those. It shouldn't be no S. It's a singularity thing.
Okay. Well, hold on. Well, you know I'm reading out of that old text, so let me go back. It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder."
You see that? The government shall be upon the one that Isaiah is prophesying. Up until that point, during Isaiah's day, the governmental authorities or the governmental powers were dealing with the Torah and the things that were contained in the law. But Isaiah prophesied about a child that would be given and a son that would be born in the future, and the government would be upon his shoulder. Henceforth, the government is dealing with constitution. So he said, this child will institute a new governmental constitution in the world that men are to live by. And that's what we're going to be coming out of. The constitution of the 12 chosen apostles. Those that will become the witnesses and the spokespersons for the Messiah. So let's go, King.
Yes, sir. Starting at book 8. It says, "Concerning gifts and ordinations and the ecclesiastical canon." Section 1, on the diversity of spiritual gifts, on whose account the powers of miracles are performed. It says, "Jesus Christ, our God and Savior, delivered to us the great mystery of godliness, and called both Jews and Gentiles to the acknowledgement of the one and only true God, his Father. As himself somewhere says, when he was giving thanks for the salvation of those that had believed, I have manifested thy name to men. I have finished thy work, thou gavest me, and said concerning us, his Father, Holy Father, although the world has not known thee, yet have I known thee, and these have known thee. With good reason did he say to all of us together, when we were perfected concerning those gifts which were given from him by the Spirit. Now these signs shall follow." Hold on, let me calm down. It says, "Now these signs shall follow them that have believed in my name. They shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall by no means hurt them. They shall lay their hands on the sick, and they shall recover. These gifts were first bestowed on us, the apostles, when we were about to preach the gospel to every creature, and afterwards were of necessity afforded to those who had by our means believed, not for the advantage of those who performed them, but for the conviction of the unbelievers, that those whom the word did not persuade, the power of signs might put to shame. For signs are not for us who believe, but for the unbelievers. Hold on. Both for the Jews and the Gentiles."
Y'all see that? You see, that's why he said believers don't need no signs. The reason why believers don't need no signs is because all those that believe in something outside of themselves or the Most High, all those that believe, they have a portion of the Spirit that causes their belief to make manifest in the world that they're living in things that become signs to other people.
Yes, sir.
You see, when you walking by faith and you walking according to your belief system, and that faith have empowered you to do things that you don't see your average brother doing, those things that are being done become signs to other people. It is what you call the light. You see, the signs weren't for the believers.
Yes, sir.
The signs were for those that didn't believe. You see? And so some of the things some of the giftings that they were given to produce these signs to other people is that they were able to call out devils.
Yes, sir.
They were able to call out devils and demons out of people.
Yeah,
if you're really a believer, you have possessed this same thing, this same quality. When you can deal with a person that's been overtaken by a multiplicity of situations, and then you can come speaking by the power of the Spirit, enlighten the eyes of their understanding to the point to where they become empowered and they can raise up and overcome whatever it is that had them bound. You just seen that. Hey, somebody is watching. Man, I know that dude. I just seen him. He was in that condition. Man, now look at him. He rolling. How did it happen like that? You see, what happened to that individual became a sign to somebody that didn't believe. And when they see those things, it makes them more apt to receive and become believers themselves. But believers don't need no signs. We're the last people that should be walking around talking about, oh, well, Most High, show me what you have me to do. You're supposed to know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
if you're a believer, let me show you why. If you're a believer, let me put something on top of that. Show you why. If you're a believer, you ain't supposed to be asking the Most High for no sign. Oh Lord, show me which way to go. Oh Lord, which street should I drive down? Oh Lord, which place should I park my car at? You say our people are some of the spookiest people on the planet. We're asking the Most High to show us things. We don't need the Most High to show us nothing. Only thing we need to do is live our life by the faith that we believe, hold fast to the convictions that we have received, and then let our life become an exemplification of His righteousness in this world that we living in. Shouts out to you, Cousin Pee Wee. Let me show you why. Show you why you don't need no signs. We'll put that on here. It says, verse 13 of the 16th chapter of the book of Matthew. Howbeit, when He, the Spirit of truth, is come, He will guide you into truth, into all truth. For He shall not speak of Himself, but whatsoever He hear, that shall He speak. And He will show you things to come, and He shall glorify me. For He shall receive what is of mine, and shall show it unto you. All things that the Father have are mine. Therefore I said that He shall take what is mine, and He shall show it unto you. The reason why believers don't need no signs is because they have been given the promise of the Spirit. And that Spirit is what leads a believer, what guides a believer, what makes a believer understand where his feet are supposed to be staying, what makes a believer understand what it is that his mouth is supposed to be speaking, what it is that his thoughts is supposed to be thinking, and then the Spirit shows a believer things to come. See, we don't have prophets no more like the prophets of old. The prophets of old have been replaced by the Spirit. The Spirit does for the people that believe the same thing that God was doing for the people that He made prophets out of back then. He is still speaking to His people by way of the Spirit, causing them to be able to see things in the future that are coming down the pipeline the same way He spoke to the prophets of old that were able to tell us about the things in the future. You see? Now, what separates the difference between then and now, like Elder Maniel said, that God spoke to the ancient ones and He used signs? Turn to Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And let me show you the difference. Because see, when we really understand what it is that we possess, and then we tap into that thing, then we understand this. We believe what the prophets spoke. You see? But we're in the days that the prophets have spoke about. You see? But God's still speaking. We are the modern day prophets of the world, even though we don't call ourselves prophets. Because we'll prophesy and we'll speak according to the scripture as the Spirit shows us things that the prophets spoke about yesterday. The Spirit shows us these things coming into our world, and then we can make them make sense to our brothers and sisters that are unbelievers. What you got there, King? Read it.
Yes, sir. This is Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. It says, God, who at sundry times and diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things.
You see that?
Yes,
see, God, who at sundry times in different ways, in times past, he spoke to the fathers by the prophets. God, who at sundry times in different ways, sometimes he spoke to the prophets by signs. Sometimes he spoke through audible voices. Sometimes he spoke through visions. Sometimes he spoke through dreams. Sometimes he even spoke through the elements of nature. Sometimes he even spoke through the mouth of animals. He spoke to the prophets in times past. But in these last days, he is speaking to us by his Son, who had been appointed heir over all things. And when the Son got ready to leave, he said, I'm going to pray to the Father. Let's read that. Let's read that. Let's read that. Let's read that right quick. Verse 5 of the 16th chapter, but now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you ask me where I'm going. Because I have said these things to you, sorrow hath filled your heart. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, then the Spirit will not come unto you. But if I go, if I depart, I will send the Spirit unto you. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. You see that? God, who at sundry times in different ways in time past, he spoke to the prophets in a multiplicity of ways, and they spoke to the fathers. But in these last days, he is speaking to us by his Son, who has been appointed heir over all things. And his Son said, I have to leave because I'm bound by time and space. I can only be in one place at one time. He said, but if I go away, I'm going to send the Spirit into the world, who can reside in the heart and the mind of every believer. And he will become what the prophets of old was to Israel and the people back then. The Spirit will become to the believers of this day. That's why believers don't need no signs. The signs are for the unbeliever. You see?
Man.
The signs are for the unbeliever.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes,
you want to see
sir.
some more? Turn to John and read the first. Start reading at the first chapter. Because these are what believers possess. These are what believers possess. When you believe in something. And if you're really a believer, you don't tell me you got no rot gut, ran down, broken down, impoverished mindset, impoverished life, still can't get up, still shaking a raggedy, rusty cup. Baby, when you're a believer, signs follow you as they followed the man that was lame from his mother's womb at the gate called Beautiful, shaking a rusty cup, begging for some money. And Peter and John said, we ain't got no money, brother. I'm going to tell you that right now. We broke, but what we do got, we'll give you. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, rise up and walk. And they grabbed him and they pulled him up, and immediately his ankle bones received strength. That was a sign for the people to see. And when the Pharisees and the scribes seen the crippled man who had been lame from his mother's womb running around leaping and dancing and all of that, they wondered how it happened. That was a sign for them. All of the people rejoiced at the sign and became believers at what they had seen done. But there was another group of people who wanted to keep the people bound, that wanted to kill them. You want to break the man's ankles again?
Man. Wow.
So, what else did I say?
You said this is St. John 1 chapter 1 and 1.
Yeah. Let's show you. Let's show you another sign. Another sign, another thing that becomes a sign for unbelieving people when believers are operate according to their belief system. Let me show you. Go ahead, start reading.
Yes, sir. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
See, you see that? You see that? In him was life. And for the believer, what the believer does is that the believer accepts the life that's in the Most High. And when a believer accepts the life that's in the Most High, that life now becomes light of men. And it's that light that becomes a sign for everybody else to see. That's why the Messiah said, let your light so shine, let your good works show before men, that they might glorify your Father who's in heaven. You see, when you start talking about signs, the signs that people are going to see ain't some miraculous thing happening with the moon and with the stars. The signs are the things that's coming out of your life as a believer. When they see that you're a completely different person, moving in a completely different manner, with a completely different thought process, they know that something have happened because your life is morphed into something that is different. And whatever comes out of your life becomes a sign for other people to see. Damn. He looked like Rashard. That dude looked like him. That dude, he even sounded like Rashard. But the way he moving, I ain't sure.
Right.
See, they see something different.
Yes, sir.
The signs ain't for the believer. The signs are for the unbeliever. But the signs come as a result of what one who believes is doing with their life. That's what becomes the sign to people. And he tell you how to make these things, where these signs come from. Let your good works show before men. And then those good works will become signs to unbelievers. And they will begin to glorify your Father in heaven. Let me give you an example. You see a brother or sister that they are unbelievers. And they fall in a bad situation. And there's no way possible that they can get out. You understand what I'm saying? They know you a believer, you see? But it's a gulf between you and them. But in the moment of their crisis, you ride in with good works, reach down in the gutter and grab your brother. Get his lights turned on. Get his gas turned on. Get his, you know what I'm saying? Young King at the gas station, out of gas, need a gas can, and you stop up and put $20 in his tank and roll on out. You see, your good works will cause them to glorify your Father in heaven. That your good works are used as the signs to cause unbelievers to recognize that God done that for me. Ain't that bad?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then how in the heck is it that you can have all these people in the world that say that they believe, but got no good works fall on them? Oh, no, you know, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna change. They ain't never gonna do right. They ain't not. I thought you said you was a believer. No man knows what another man's end gonna be. That your good works got to follow. You know, those become the signs that we are dealing with. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any comments? Anybody got any topic that they want to interject into this video? We don't have no particular place to go. That was just our starting point. So if you on here and you got something that you want to interject, then come on and interject it, because we all growing together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so peace and blessings be on all of you that found the time enough to chime into the video just for a second. You know, we know everybody ain't always got time to hang through the whole video, but we thank the Most High for the ones that do. Oh, which brings me to something else. Believers don't need no signs. You see, believers are the signs that the rest of the world see. But in order for you to be the sign that the rest of the world see, that have to be coupled with some good works. Because that is what becomes the sign to the unbeliever. So let's go. Shouts out to you, Stan Starks. That's my man there. Boy, he put some some of the most prolific comments on Facebook that you ever gonna run across, and he's been consistent for years. I ain't never seen him make a video. I ain't never seen him arguing back and forth, but I do see him. He'll put one post on there that'll make you stop in your tracks and say, hold up, wait a minute, I'm on to something. So yeah, so to my brothers and sisters, now y'all know for years, we have been producers of good works when it comes to our brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about collectively, all of the brothers and sisters that been connected to me on Facebook through that helps PayPal account that we produce. You'll have no idea how many people that those works became assigned to, that begin to thank God on your behalf for the work that you had done. But the work continues. God's promise is that he promised that he will continuously give seed to the sower, and that the sower would go forth with his seed, sowing his seed, and he would no doubt come again rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. That means that bringing the abundance of what his good works would produce. So we are always encouraged, brothers, that when you get the opportunity, this is a crucial time right now. Many of our brothers and sisters are being challenged, and we encourage many of our brothers and sisters not to be compliant, not to be complicit with what this government is trying to do, not to be complicit with the Band-Aid. And we tell them, if you got to lose your job, you just got to trust God. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes that's not always an easy thing to do. But if we have brothers and sisters that are doing that, time that brothers and sisters are doing that, they might have a little to sustain them until they get another job, but many won't. Some people are going to need some groceries. Some people are going to need some little help with their light bill. Some people are going to need some gas money. Some people are going to need a little assistance along with the encouragement of the word to go forth. And ain't no one man can do that by himself. Ain't no way no one man can deal with all the brothers and sisters on Facebook that we have to deal with. And at any given minute, I tell any of the brothers, tomorrow it might be one person. Today it's somebody else. And then tomorrow it might be you. And we want to be able to aid and assist our brothers and sisters during their time of need the way that we always have. And so whenever you find that the Most High have done a little extra for you, it ain't no big issue for you to say, hey, you know what, Brother Milligan, here, throw this $15 over there in the PayPal account. Here's $20. Throw that over there. I know you ain't asked for nothing right now, because I generally don't come out and ask for nothing until somebody have a need. But sometimes when I do ask, we end up collecting more than we really asked for. And so that helps me not to have to come back on a regular basis. I deal with what's in there, and when people have issues or people have problems, I'm able to extract from that and then do a little over here and do a little over there and then do a little over there until it runs low again. And we make sure that one of the things that we tell our brothers and sisters is when they receive help, that they will come and tag my page, thanking the brothers and sisters that have been contributors over the years. And I'm going to reinforce this, and I hope it don't sound prideful or arrogant to nobody. What I'm saying is genuine, because I don't need your money. I don't need your money. I'm constantly looking to see what the Most High going to do. So the less I got, the more greater position I am in to see what the Most High going to do. I don't need people's money. So ain't no money going to do nothing personally for me. But it's something that we come together and collectively do as brothers and sisters on this page and on this platform. We have been doing it now since Young General passed away. And so there have been many good works to go forth out of that. There have been many good works to go forth out of that. So King Rashard, if you will, I want you to type that PayPal account up in there. And any brothers and sisters that find themselves having extra, because listen, if we don't learn how to assume the responsibility and the care for each other, we're going to be in trouble. That's all it is to it. And we got brothers and sisters that call sometime from all over this country and then even in some of the other countries. And you find that you got all kind of Hebrew brothers and sisters over there, right over there in the UK, where many of these other people at, yet they can't find no help. They can't find no assistance for nothing. And so, and as I said before, you know, every day ain't going to be a good day for everybody. All of us gonna have a rough time every now and then. You see? And everybody don't need the same type of assistance. Some people need assistance through encouragement. Some people need assistance through understanding the word. Some people need the assistance just by being strengthened. You know, we got funerals. We got so many people that's dying on a daily basis. I have a young king tell me, we need to get you a platform because, Elder, you can't keep doing this stuff for people. That stuff is wearing you. Well, I don't have no choice. I don't charge nobody to be going out here burying their child, burying their loved one that done died. I can't be out here charging nobody for that stuff. I know I could, but I don't. And we got all of these things, all of these different areas of support. Got a phone call the other day from one of my brothers that, you know, funeral gonna be next week. You know, my grandson done died. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't in church. They ain't got no pastors. They ain't got no preachers like they used to. It got the support got to come from somewhere. All of the support ain't financial, but we can't leave the financial support out. So, somebody be so kind to put that PayPal account up there. It's PayPal.
Yeah, I can't do it from my phone.
PayPal.me/Dimitri78. Yep, that's what it is. PayPal.me/Dimitri78. And one day soon they're gonna cut all of these vehicles off to where we've been able to help people. The government now is trying to use all of these different platforms as a means to either extract money from people or put people in jail for tax evasion or something of that nature because it ain't lined up with the system. So whatever it is that we're going to do, we're going to have to do it and get it done now. So I want to thank all the brothers and sisters over the years that have been contributors. And we're grateful for that. And as we said before, those contributions, what they become is they become the Most High's hand of provision showing up in somebody's life that probably didn't even believe. And when you at the gas station, many of you brothers and sisters that might be on the line, you've been to the gas station. You've seen some brothers and sisters out there on the corner. And if you ever gave any of them anything, if you ever gave anybody anything on the street that asked you for some money, I want you to type in there what they said when you did.
God bless you.
You see? They didn't even say thank you. They said, God bless you. Let your good work show before men, and they'll give your Father in heaven glory. You see? You see? So that's what that is. So I still need see that's what they say. So y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. And that is a sign. That's a sign that is born out of a good work that's being done. That's that's a sign. See, believers, we don't need to look for no signs. We are the sign. Your life's supposed to be the walking billboard. Somebody drive up and see you, they know, hey, that's God's house right there. I didn't arrive. You know what I mean? You are the sign. You are the sign. Yeah, you are the sign.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so that's what that is. I still need somebody to put that. What? That was bad, wasn't it?
hey, let me read this over again, man. Let me go back a little bit, because it all added up.
Okay, I still need somebody to put that PayPal account up there. I think we probably down to about $75. We don't want it to go all the way empty, and we're not begging people for money. because the money don't go to me. But we're saying that if you've been blessed to where you have anything extra that you can do to your brothers and sisters, then you can send it right over there. You don't have to worry about it going to no building fund, because I ain't got no building. You ain't got to worry about, the church got to have lights, gas, and water paid for. You ain't got to worry about that, because I can pay my own lights, gas, and water. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about it going on fixing the church van. You know what I mean? It being there specifically for when your brother or your sister encounter. It is paypal.me/Dimitri78. Yeah, so paypal.me/Dimitri78. And and I had to go through all of that. I had to go through all that, and I had to say all of that because the Christian preachers have given brothers and sisters that in ministry a bad name. You see, and I don't classify my videos, and I don't knock other people, but my videos ain't titled as no ministry, and I don't have no thing set up that's like a ministry where you like donating to the ministry. You ain't donating to no ministry. You know your donation is going directly in the hands of a brother and a sister that might need some groceries, might need to be able some gas to get back and forth to work for the next couple of days, might tie them over until they can find a new job. That's what it's going for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And anybody that does it, they will automatically know, because you'll see the post of your brother and sister thanking all of the brothers and sisters on social media that contribute. You see, so that's what that is. That's how that goes. So, yep. So, okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to pick back up. It says, these gifts were first bestowed on us, the apostles, when we were about to preach the gospel.
You see that? That was gifts, not signs.
Right, right. That's it. It says, before we were about to preach the gospel to every creature, though. That's a key. That's a marker right there, too. It says,
okay. Somebody said, Mahal, y'all said she sent it on Cash App. Cash App is $Dimitri Milligan. And we use both of them. And I'm glad that we got them set up, because when we encounter those things, and we go through brothers and sisters situations, and we make sure that everything what it's supposed to be, we just run those funds right on over there.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So, okay, King. So go ahead. Read it again.
I'm going to start over. It says, these gifts were first bestowed on us, the apostles, when we were about to preach the gospel to every creature, and afterwards were of necessity afforded to those who had by our means believed, not for the advantage of those who performed them, but for the conviction of the unbelievers, that those whom the word did not persuade, the power of signs might put to shame.
You see that? Now hold on, King, because you talking about them gifts being bestowed on you. See, the gifts, God done given all of us gifts. And that's why he tell us, freely you have received your gift, freely you should give what comes from your gift. Okay? I have been given the gifted ability to be a barber and do hair over the years, but my being a barber was no gift. It was no benefit to me, because I couldn't make my own hair look like I made everybody else's hair look. You see, whatever your gifted ability is, that's what God give you to make room for you. That means that it causes you to be able to have a livelihood, you see. And if God give you a gift that causes you to be able to have a livelihood, then now your livelihood becomes a springboard to dive off of, and that becomes signs to your brothers and sisters as they receive different blessings that are a result of your gifted area. Go ahead, King. Keep reading.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit, because it says, let me get back. It says, these gifts were first bestowed on us, the apostles, when we were about to preach the gospel to every creature, and afterwards were of necessity afforded to those who had by our means believed, not for the advantage of those who perform them, but for the conviction of the unbelievers.
Now, let me stop right there. Stop you right there, because sometimes we get our wires crossed up. But he's saying these things wasn't for the advantage of those that performed these things that became signs, but they were given to them for the sake of the people that didn't believe. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because if we're not careful, we can become very arrogant with the gifting that the Most High had given us. Oh boy, we slayed them. Then we slayed them. I healed 10 people out there. You know what I mean? You ain't done nothing.
Right.
Because ain't no gift been given to you for you to become boasting about what it is that you done to anybody. But this is the thing, is that this is some of the things that we deal with as a people. When we're not careful, we start applying those gifted areas, and what comes out of them, where other people become beneficiaries, we start applying those things to our own self, and that can put us in a bad place. So I just thought I'd interject that in there for anybody that think it's something that you done. It ain't nothing that you done.
Hey man, that's what it say right there. That's what it say. All right, let me go back a little bit. It says, not for the advantage of those who perform them, but for the conviction of the unbelievers, that those whom the word did not persuade, the power of signs might put to shame.
You see that? You see that? Hold on. What's up, Bob? You see that?
Yes, sir.
See, because we dealing with the word, but see, when the word don't get a person, that's why the Messiah said you got to meet the person at the point they need. You know what I mean? You can't just be talking the Bible and then somebody over there starving. You need to have a book in your hand, and you need to have a couple of dollars or a meal so you can feed them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep reading, King.
It says, for signs are not for us who believe, but for the unbelievers, both the Jews and the Gentiles. Hold on. All right. For neither is it any profit to us to cast out demons, but to those who are so cleansed by the power of the Lord. As the Lord himself somewhere instructs us and shows, saying, rejoice ye not, because the spirits are subject unto you, but rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
That cash app is $ Dimitri Milligan. Okay, King Rashard, I want you to back up and read that
yes,
again.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says, for neither is it any profit to us to cast out demons, but to those who are so cleansed by the power of the Lord. As the Lord himself somewhere instructs us and shows, saying, rejoice ye not, because the spirits are subject unto you, but rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
See, that's bad. See, so a lot of times we got our wires crossed. You know what I mean? We got our wires crossed up, but but like I said, we have to go through these things, and this is like Torah. This is apostles. The Constitution of the Apostles is dealing with how we're gonna live our lives amongst our brothers and our sisters. And this is a very important one. You know what I mean? And, a man's gift make room for him. And whatever your gifted area is, that's where your good work's going to be born out of, That's what they're going to be born out of. And so, even like with my job, I could just when I was working, doing hair over the years, I could have just had set standard prices, you know what I mean? Like so many other people had. But my prices shift depending on the situation that the people sat in my chair was in. You see? And I learned that from a couple of other brothers, you can have a set price, but everybody can't, you have some people that have frequently visit you, and then lose their job or be going through some hard times. and you still want it. I'm just like, listen, don't let money be the determining factor, you know. I want you to still be able to do the things that you've been used to, you know what I mean? You'll get your money again, you know what I mean? If you feel the need to write everything down you owe me and then pay it back little bit by little bit, then you can do that, you know. But don't let what you don't have stop you from coming. You continue to come. And that right there became a sign to somebody. Wow. You know, man, thank God for you, boy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it is, and that's the kind of mindset that all of us got to develop. Now, all of us don't have that mindset because some of us still have that mindset. Well, I don't know why you doing that. They ain't got no money. They ain't getting no service. You know, I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, you think if God felt that way about us, we wouldn't even have the gift that we have in order to make what it is that we make, to have the things that we have. If God felt that way, he said, I freely have gifted you, and you should freely take your giftings and then be a blessing to somebody else. So that's one of them things, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Shouts out to you, Raymond Smith Jr. That's the son of one of my classmates, you know, and yeah. So it's some good people in the world. The people that do that, you know what I mean? There's people that do that, you know. And Big Ray, I remember he called me. What? This been about back in the summer. He said, Meech. Nah, he didn't call me. I was over there cutting the grass. he said, Meech, you want some furniture? I said, yeah. Man, shoot, that furniture was about brand new, man. Nice, pretty furniture, leather furniture. I couldn't afford to buy furniture like that. He said, it's yours, just come and get it. He said, you know what he said? He said, I was just wanting to give it to somebody that I knew would appreciate it.
That's right.
And I brought that furniture home. Me and the guys, we brought that furniture home. And my cousin like, man, you can't just put that furniture in there like that, man. So what we end up doing is we stripped everything off the walls and we took all the old furniture out. We put everything in the middle of the floor, went to the hardware store and bought 2.5 gallons of paint. We came home and painted the living room. And when it dried, we put the new furniture in there. And when Sweetie Pie came home, she walked through the door of a brand new house. And boy, oh God, oh babe. See, that was somebody else's good work.
Right.
That caused somebody else to glorify God.
Right.
You see? In most cases, it's not for our benefit to have everything. But see, when we do certain things to people, those things are for unbelieving people. Because if they can get thank God out of their mouth or God bless you out of their mouth, you see what I'm saying? They are now confessed a new belief.
Yes, sir.
And that's powerful for any of us. You see, that's powerful for any of us, you know? And so I'm constantly in that situation. I can't give enough stuff away. Fast as I give it away, it come through the door. I'm telling you, I was mad this morning. I'm mad this morning, King Rashard. I told you I've been meaning to go up there and work on that room. I'm going up there and get that room straightened out, man. And I'm up there, and I just got mad. I'm talking about, this don't make no damn sense. I'm mad. Stuff everywhere. I don't even know where to start. I'd bagged up all kind of stuff, dragging it down, shoes in bag, clothes in bag, and then it looked like I ain't moved nothing. You know what I'm saying to myself, you know, I was mad, man, and I didn't want to get up fussing at Sweetie Pie, you know what I'm saying? Because, shoot, man, between the two of us, it's so much stuff that just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. It's like no matter how fast you try to give it away to people, it just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it, man. That is it.
But that's what it means when it say that the Most High will give seed to the sower. And as he go forth sowing his seed, he no doubt going to come again rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. You're not going to be able to beat. You're not going to be able to outdo the Most High. You see? And a lot of us have just become selfish, and we don't understand that the things that God have done for us, that have caused us to be able to get good at something to the point to where when you learn how to do something and you love it and you get good at it, then money automatically comes. You
Yes,
see?
sir.
And
Yes,
when that
sir.
money comes, we get to have the life that we want to live. But you cannot forget the reason why God gave you the gift in the first place. It's so that it
That's
can
right.
become a benefit to somebody that don't believe. Because when your good works can reach one that don't believe, now he gets moved into the place where God can give him a gift, just like he gave you, that he can do the same thing. And when blessings come from his gift, he is supposed to be fruitful and multiply and keep on being profitable off of that thing.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
so rather than looking for a sign, remember you are the sign.
That's it.
Or you can be a sign that don't have nothing on it. Or you can be a real sign that's really doing something, that's really leading the way. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir. That's bad right there, man.
yeah, so I
And we
choose
ain't
to
even
be.
got past one paragraph, man.
Yeah, sometimes man, it's a good time to get away from all that deep stuff. You know, just deal with real life, real reality, man. With all of this, stuff that's going on, you know, people are being turned against each other from all this Devox stuff. You know, they being
Right.
turned against each other. And they talking about the hate speech of different organizations, but you got the people in power that's promoting hate.
Right.
You know, those that have done it against those that have not done it. You know, and they saying everything against people that have not done it. And everybody that's watching that is starting to feel some type of way about the people that have not done it. You understand what I'm saying? And they're promoting the hate in the world. You know, it's just a messed up thing, you know. So it's a messed up
This is a great
situation.
message, though. This is a great message. So now we understand believers need no signs. You understand what I'm saying?
No, the believer is the sign. Shoot.
We don't need no signs. So why you even over there in the first place?
Yeah, you are the sign.
Yeah, you
That's
are
right.
the sign.
I don't need you telling me nothing about me.
Right.
Shoot. I'ma show you. Cause back up to the part where it said that they can drink poison.
All right, yes, sir. Yes,
Because
sir.
this is one of the things I've been
You-
telling my brothers and sisters that have been shaken by fear. Even if you done it, don't mean that you got to be affected by it. You can
you
repent
just
from
got me
it.
with that one.
You see? So go back and read that again.
You got me with that one.
Because that's
You
power that we have that come from the Spirit. That's part of our gifting.
Hold on. I'm good.
See, because now we got a lot of brothers and sisters that's starting to have second thoughts about what they done did, because when they did it, that wasn't the end of it. They kept on going with it and keep on going with it. And now they starting to have second thoughts about it. And so they need to understand the power of the gift that been given to them, the gift of the Spirit, where we get all of our physical giftings from. That as long as you got that power and you got that belief, now what it say, King?
It says, with good reason did he say to all of us together, when we were perfected concerning those gifts which were given from him by the Spirit.
See, by the Spirit. The gifts are given by the Spirit. But he gives us the gift of the Spirit. And then the Spirit gives us gifts that's according to his will and our purpose in this world. So let's go. Keep going.
It said, now these signs shall follow them that have believed in my name. They shall cast out devils.
We're going to cast out devils. We're gonna tell them, boy, you better than that. Devil, you a lie. That's my brother. You better than that. You can beat that. You can get up out of that. You ain't got to be in that gutter. We can cast out devils with the words of the Most High by the power of the Spirit and that gift that been given. What else we can do?
It says, they shall speak with new tongues.
We can speak with new tongues. That means if we're in a situation that is called for and God want to give somebody that's of a foreign language or revelation, then he gives us the power to be able to speak in a language that we didn't grow up and learn in school. That's a power. That's a gift of the Spirit. What other gift he give us?
Yes, sir. He said, they shall take up serpents.
That means that we can take up serpents, no matter how wicked the scheme is, no matter how you've been hiding in the dark trying to strike me, no matter what it is, it ain't going to work. We can take up the serpents.
And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall by no means hurt them.
And if I drink something that's deadly and somebody trying to poison me, baby, you don't understand that I'm going to drink that thing down like water, because the spirit that the Most High have given me is in there fighting and helping me with my infirmity. Anything that might come and make me sick or mess me up, and I don't know about it. He said, oh no, they're going to go down like that. See? Right. And so, if you've been shaken with fear, and somebody have made you to drink poison, one of the giftings of the Spirit is that he give you the power to rebuke it. You ain't got to just stop right there. These signs are for the unbeliever. And the unbeliever is one that is controlled by fear and not the Most High. But when you understand what God gives the believer, and you know that you done allowed somebody to make you drink poison because you've been afraid, and now they want you to take another dose and take another shot of poison. Now they want you to take another one. You see, you need to start to believe so that God can give you the gift of the Spirit that he give all believers. And the Spirit get down in you. He said, I know they meant it for evil, but watch me make it good.
Man, that's bad right there.
That is bad. See, that is bad. See, that's a spirit, boy. so you know, that is bad. Let me show you something. Go to Romans 8th chapter. This for my brothers and sisters. You know, we going in there. Believers don't need no signs. We are the sign. We are the sign. And what we doing right now is operating according to the gift that the Most High have given us. And right now, this video is rebuking people and bringing non-believers up, because it's touching things that probably been on the minds of people that they ain't knew how to deal with. They want to do something about it, but they don't know what to do about it. When the Most High give you the Spirit, let me show you this. Go to Romans 8th chapter.
Yes, sir.
Read 8 and 20. Read 8:26.
You said 8:26.
So first, I want you to read that script. Read that part again. Read that part again.
Yes, sir. Let me go back a little bit.
Shout out to you, cousin Kirk. Believers don't need no signs. We are the sign.
It says, with good reason did he say to all of us together, when we were perfected concerning those gifts which were given from him by the Spirit.
So the Spirit, God gives us the Spirit gives us gifts.
Yes, sir. Now these signs shall follow them that have believed in my name.
And those of us that believe will have signs following us, because we're operating according to the gift of the Spirit that was given to us.
Yes, sir. It says they shall cast out devils.
We'll cast out devils by rebuking things and causing our unbelieving brothers and sisters to understand how great they are and whose children they are.
They shall speak with new tongues.
We'll speak with new tongues if we was ever in a position to where somebody of a foreign language needed to hear God's word. We go by Isaiah, through stammering lips and foreign speech will I speak to this people.
They shall take up the serpent.
We'll take up the serpent. Ain't nothing going to be able to hide in the dark and strike us at a moment's notice, because we'll be protected.
Yes, sir. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall by no means hurt them.
And if you have allowed anybody to put any deadly thing inside of you, or you've been made to drink a deadly poison, it shall not hurt the believer. But the unbeliever can be in that position. Almost half of the people that dwell in this country have been put in that position of unbelief, being controlled by fear. Fear is the opposite of faith. When you don't have faith, That means you don't have the Spirit. And we don't have the Spirit. That means that you ain't been believing in the Most High in the way that you're supposed to be believing in. And that means that if you don't have the Spirit and you ain't been believing in God, that means that you'll believe in man and you'll be controlled by fear. And if man allows your body to drink poison and you're an unbeliever and you decide that now you're having a second thought, you see, then you can do something different. For the believers who have been through this thing, have been protected by the Spirit that's on the inside of them. You see, there are many people that ain't going to be so lucky. So that's where we're at, and we'll put the spotlight on how God gives all of us a gift of the Spirit, and from the Spirit comes gifts that we get good at and that become blessings to all of our brothers and sisters. Shouts out to you, L.A. Johnson. That's my main man. That's L.A. Dog. That's my brother who been using that gifted area of DJing over all of the years to help teach his brother how to get things done. That is a gifted area. That gifted area, when it's shared with somebody else and they get good at it, it becomes a sign for all the people that's watching. Hey, man, I didn't know Michi was a DJ. Boy, you hear that music that he was playing? Man, did you see that equipment that he was coming with? Man, I didn't know that was that. It becomes a sign to people. Oh, I had such a nice time. Oh, I ain't had that much fun in my life. What they don't understand is that sign was born out of somebody else's gifted area when they took the time to share their gift with somebody else and cause somebody else to get good. Then other people start looking at that and they say, oh, God is good. You see? And that's how we supposed to be operating in this world with the things that God gives us. You see? Now read it, King Rashard. Romans 8th chapter, 26th verse.
Yes, sir. It says, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmity.
Oh, likewise, the Spirit also helps our... What's the infirmity, King Rashard?
Our defects, I guess that's what.
Yeah, see, infirmity is called, if you in prison and you get sick, they send you to what's called what?
The infirmity.
That's right, because the infirmity is dealing with sickness. So he said, likewise, the Spirit helps us with our sickness. Why do the Spirit help us with our sickness? Keep reading. Keep reading.
I see it. Well, we know not what we should pray for.
Okay, if you have been made to drink poison, and you don't know that what you have drank is poison, the poison could kill you. But for the believer, it declares that he can drink poison and will not die because the Spirit is on the inside of him. So read it, King Rashard. Read it.
Yes, sir. I would have to go back and say, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself maketh an intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.
You see, that's the Spirit helping us with our infirmities. When we get situations that is beyond our ability to fix, we have the Spirit. Believers have the Spirit. That's why those that don't have the Spirit, that don't believe, they don't have those options. They don't have nothing that can help them stand. That's why the suicide rate is high. That's why people commit suicide. That's why people get hopeless and just give up in life. Their unbelief. They don't have the Spirit to help them with the things that they're going through. You see? But the believer said, likewise, the Spirit helps the believer with his infirmity, with his sickness, whether it's depression, whether it's something mental, whether it's something physical, whether it's something financial, whether it's something that you're going through and dealing with your wife, whether it's the loss of a spouse, whether it's the loss of a children, whether it's the loss of a job, whether it's the loss of your livelihood, whether it's the loss of whatever it is that becomes a deficiency or insufficiency in our life. Likewise, the Spirit that is in the believer is able to pick up the slack and come and rebuke those things. I'll give him the strength to get through it. I'll give him the strength to understand that I, the Lord thy God, am sovereign, and I do what I want whenever I get ready to do it. And if I choose to call home a blessing that I gave you to be responsible for a time, I am able to bring understanding. I am able to give you a calm spirit. I am able to make sense out of things that don't make sense. Whatever it is. If it came down to a loss of finances, that spirit, that gift God gave me, it make me understand and bring back to my remembrance. Your Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. All the silver and the gold is his. The earth is the Lord, the fullness thereof. All the people, the whole world, and everything in it belongs to me. It is a simple matter for God to make a poor man rich and make a rich man poor. You see, whatever the situation is, God is able, by his spirit that dwells in the believer, to build us back up. Even when we don't even have the words. I ain't even got the words. My child is sick. My child done died. I ain't even got the words. Oh, Lord. Oh, have mercy. Oh, I'm weak. The Spirit makes intercession for us with moanings and groanings that cannot be put into words. Interceding on behalf of God and his creation, bringing him to a place of peace and safety. Anybody ever been there? Oh, good God Almighty, I know somebody been there. I've been there. I know I've been there. I done witnessed it for myself as a believer. But I've also seen the unbelievers lose all hope. Crawl into a bottle only to never come out again. Walk away from the marriage. Walk away from the children. Never get back up and get another job. Never get another car. Become one laying at the gate, shaking a rusty cup because they don't have that belief in the Most High. I've seen it for myself. And our job is to take the giftings that the Most High have given us, which is the Spirit, and then allow the gifts that the Spirit had given us to become a springboard to dive off of and be a witness or a light or a sign to every brother and sister that have never had faith in God, that had never believed it. So we let our works show before men, and then those works will cause the men to give the Father glory. What that means is that men will come to believe in the Most High God because of the lifestyle that you are living.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man.
Oh, man, this is better. This is better than the Army commercial. This is more than a job. This is more than a job. It's an adventure, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is better than the Army commercial. It's an adventure. When you see your brothers raise up, when you see your brother learn how to do something that come as a result of you taking the time out to do it, when you see people get blessed, you understand, when you see the light come on in people's eye, when you see all the people that respond to the videos, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people saying, I ain't doing it no more. Elder, I ain't doing it no more. Elder, I'm doing this. Oh, Elder, I'm doing that. Oh, I started up my own business. Oh, I got my first weed eater. I got my first lawnmower. Oh, I'm doing. When you see brothers and sisters doing things because of the work that you are showing forth, it ain't nothing to gloat about. You just thank the Most High that he written your name in the book of life.
Yes, sir. That's what it say.
Yes,
that's what it say right here.
You ain't got to brag about how filled up. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm saved, sanctified, and set apart. I'm filled with the Spirit. You ain't got to brag about all that mess. You just thank the Most High that your name is written in the book of life. Because if it were not for that, you wouldn't have the gift. So,
man.
So I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can upload this video to YouTube.
Hey, that was a heavyweight fight. Hey, and it was always in peace, though. That's the point. Yeah. Like, ooh, everybody got hit dead.
I know it, man. I know it. I was talking to one of my brothers yesterday. He used to always say, he said, man, every time I see you come to church, I'd be like, oh, shoot. here he go with his theatrics again. You know, he said he'll come in here and he gonna cry and he gonna talk and then he'll be gone for the next 6 months until it's time for him to come again. But see, one particular time, it didn't happen like that. I said they didn't have no idea what was in me already.
Right.
And I was wrestling with overcoming. You know, I was losing my marriage and I was real heavy. I was, you know, smoking that crack like, 40 going north. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep my head together. And so I had got to a breaking point. To where I wanted to. I didn't know. I paced the floor of my beauty shop with a 30 cal in my hand. I didn't know whether I wanted to pop myself or whether I wanted to go over there and murder my children's mama, my ex-wife.
Right.
And at that point, that spirit started saying, like, get up and go to church. And I said, oh, no, I can't do that. I've been up for 2 days straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I smell like smoke. I still smell like smoke. I can't do that in this condition. You know, my mind ain't right. I'm still half spooky. And so I can't do that. I can't do that. And so what happened is that the Most High allowed an evil spirit to come and start tormenting me with the thoughts of suicide. And so, after that, it frightened me. So I said, okay, I'll go. And so I put the 30.
I tried to say that to me too. I understand this story completely.
I put the pistol up, and I jumped in my car. And while I was riding down there, I never forget. I was coming across Cleaver, where they had just built the new bridge on Cleaver Boulevard that overpasses 47th Street, and right then. That spirit was like, and you know what? When you get in that church, I want you to prostrate yourself. I want you to lay in the floor. I was like, oh, no, I can't do nothing like that. Ain't no way possible. I can't do nothing like that. Them people, they going to laugh. They already been laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. And that evil spirit came again. And they said, you know, it'll all be over. All you got to do is just turn the wheel. And that spirit was trying to get me to turn the wheel and just run that Cadillac off of the overpass. And that frightened me so bad again that I hit the gas. And that time I negotiated. But after that, I mean, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I just want to get up. So I pulled up on the parking lot, and I ran in there, and I snatched the doors open. I ran down the aisle, man. I just laid in the middle of the floor, and I just cried like a baby. I said, you know what? If you don't raise me up from right here, I'm going to die in this condition. I ain't going to get up. You know what I mean? And from there came the impartation of the spirit. And from there, when I got up, oh yeah, they did laugh at me. Yeah, they did talk about me. Yeah, I still was the butt end of joke. And right to this day, people, and my brother just reminded me yesterday, he said, but that incident when you laid on that floor, he said, I knew something had changed. He said, I knew that this wasn't about your theatrics that you was accustomed to doing. But when I got up off of that floor, in spite of them people laughing and talking about me for that I done, that spirit started parting gifts to me. I've been in the Bible all these years. All these years I've been in the Bible. And man, I start speaking on the Bible, and it was unbelievable to everybody. And they pointed, hold up, first thing.
You were speaking new tongues, right?
Hey, man, listen, the first thing that happened is that they appointed me to be the head Sunday school teacher over all the men. I was the youngest and the old men. And you know what? Everything that I touched, it brought light to everybody around. I went from there, they put me on Wednesday night. And the whole time, every time the spirit opened up another gift, the people's mouth would still be yapping and yapping and yapping. And so it went all the way like that, from that to the deacon board, to everything else, all the way to the pulpit. It went all the way to the pulpit. You understand what I'm saying? With the gift that the Spirit had given me. And they were still yapping and yapping. And when I got in the pulpit, then there was the preachers. So I eventually ended up throughout the church. but it wasn't over because the spirit, the gift was still operating. When I first did that video on us being the people of the book, that video in 1 week's time shot from 100 views to 50,000 views, and that is why everybody came to know me on Facebook.
Right.
That's how everybody came to know me on Facebook. And then from there, it didn't stop. The gifting still kept the moving with the YouTube, you know, and that don't change it because them gifted areas operate in my everyday life amongst all of my brothers and sisters right to this day. They don't look at me as no preacher. They don't look at me as no pastor. They don't look at me as no religious fanatic, no religious nut. They look at me as my brother.
Brother, that's it.
You see?
That's it. That is it. Right there. That's it.
So all of us got to go through a similar process when it comes to believing. You see? Because there's a difference between saying you believe and believing. When you're a believer, the Spirit gives you gifts. And what follows those gifts is signs that cause your unbelieving brothers and sisters to believe.
Man, I'm telling you how powerful that message. It might not seem like it was powerful, but man,
I hope the brothers and sisters, the brothers and sisters get blessed from that King Rashard. So we're gonna say peace and blessings to all of those that chimed in. Double honors to the brothers and sisters that were able to hang throughout the course of the whole video. We ask that you get these videos in the hands of our unbelieving brothers and sisters that might really need to hear something solid. And so let us be mindful that our good works was bigger than just words. They had to be words coupled with meeting people at the point of their need. So anybody that's on it, we put the PayPal account up there, paypal.me/Dimitri78. Not a dime goes to me. Everything that is done goes to assist and aid our brothers and sisters when they encounter times of crisis. And we don't try to meet the grand totality of anybody's need. We just want to show up in the lives of our brothers and sisters as God's hand of provision. So whatever little is that we can do for somebody, we know that they're going to give the Most High glory for it. So until then, peace and blessings be upon all the brothers and sisters. Shouts out, this is indeed a great day to be alive. It is a day that the Most High have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. You got something you want to end off with, King Rashard?
Peace and blessings, family.
Peace and blessings.